cuadrilátero de la Ciudad Deportiva, los campeones de la cuarta serie.
So week 14 of season 5 of the World Series of Boxing saw Ukraine Otamans travel all the way to take on the Cuba Domadores in Havana. This was from flyweight to super heavyweight. And the Ukrainian team were very, very competitive. Great crowd as ever. And the first flyweight out was Azat Uzinaliev, who went up against Josvani Vaita. And the number one flyweight in the world who's qualified for the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. And, well, I've got to say, Vaita was very busy. He was very accurate. He had a great range of punches and a defensive genius to boot. And Uzinaliev, well, despite being an unrated boxer, had won 3 and lost 2. And he gave Vaita all he could handle. But Vaita won the first bout. In the lightweight division, we saw Victor Slavinsky go up against Lazaro Alvarez. Slavinsky ranked number 17. A very competitive fighter, far better than I anticipated, and thoughtful at that. But Lazaro Alvarez, ranked number 2 in the world, undefeated in 6 as the World Series of Boxing boxer, picked up a unanimous decision after a very smart performance. And it was like this throughout. Great win, number 2 for Cuba. In the welterweight division, we saw Oleg Zubenko, a real tough kid from Ukraine, take on the Olympic gold medalist from 2012 by the name of Roniel Iglesias. And this was a cracking contest as well. The volume of punches was unbelievable, and this bout had it all. But once again, Cuba made it 3-0. In the light heavyweight division, Alexander Kizniak from Ukraine, who'd won 4 and lost 1, went up against Julio Cesar La Cruz in the light heavyweight division. And La Cruz, ranked number 3 in the world, hasn't qualified for Rio de Janeiro, but it was a very competitive and very decent fight. But ultimately, of course, the Cuban ran out a 50-45 winner. But I've got to say, Kizniak never stopped trying. It was a very good performance from La Cruz, and it had to be, because Kizniak came to win. But in the end, the Cubans' arm was raised to make it 4-0 with 1 to play. Well, we saw Ihor Shevardzutsky go up against the super heavyweight from Cuba, Lenia Perro. Now, Perro needed a stoppage or a unanimous victory to go number 1 in the world, but he had to settle for a majority verdict. And, well, it was another tough contest, and Perro played into the hands of this big Ukrainian in the final round when he had a punch-out, but it still went 5-0 to Cuba. So there you are then at the end of a cracking night's boxing. Cuba 5, Ukraine 0.